Aristotle.
Thank you so much for having me on the show.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're sitting here. You have your glasses on, and it give that feeling of a digital, the digital feeling. Because a lot of people believe that when people have glasses on, oh, they're so digital. I mean, they're more of a brainiards and all of that. But I'm glad that you're here, and you're not just one who is unfit for this discourse, because Nigerians have been asking these questions about digital governance and all of that. But let's try to give an attempt to the definition of what digital governance is. Now, digital governance has become a very crucial aspect of modern government operations. Now, it has enabled transparency, it has enabled accountability, it has enabled citizen participation. With the increase in demand for transparency and accountability in governance, it's quite essential to explore ways in which digital governance can be leveraged to promote these values. Now, you are a seasoned expert in digital governance, extensive experience in stakeholder management and partnerships, and as Director of Stakeholder Management and Partnerships of NIGDA, you play a very key role, especially in promoting digital governance and open government initiatives in Nigeria. Now, there's a couple of questions that Nigerians, and as I like to call them, would be the family members with this station, would love to know. Can you tell us or explain the concept of digital governance and its relevance to promoting transparency and accountability in government?
Thank you so much for that question.
Right.
I think it's important that we try to break it down in a more simplistic way, so that we don't create complexity in what we do. I think this has been a very important concept, digital governance. And what does that mean? Governance is about creating value to the people.
Right.
Now, you aggregate a system that helps you to create value for the people in a most efficient way. And what is that most efficient way which you can use to create that particular value to the people that you're governing? Technology comes into play. ICT comes into play. So when you're talking about issue of digital governance, you're talking about using technology, using the ICT itself to create value to the people that you're governing in a transparent manner, in an accountable manner, allowing for citizenship participation, and also ensuring that services are delivered to the people in the most efficient way. Now, if you look at the pillar 8 of the agenda of the federal government, it talks about efficient service delivery. And that's the anchor and the brain behind the issue of digital governance. So when you talk about digital governance, you're talking about using ICT or technology to deliver service to the people in a transparent manner, in a cost-effective manner, in ensuring that people cooperate together, and ensure that citizens themselves participate in governance by actually demanding, for transparency, and also getting a response back to the government. So that is exactly the concept of digital governance.
Well, as a follow-up to that, a number of family members and Nigerians are also asking the question whether or not digital governance can help reduce corruption and strengthen accountability in the public sector.
Simple.
Can it really?
Can it really? Of course it can. If you intend to eliminate corruption, then create a high level of transparency in fact, even in your own family. Once you want to eliminate corruption, you want to eliminate a kind of anything that is shady, create level of transparency. Allow everybody to participate. Let people know what you're doing. And one of the best and most potent instruments to ensure that transparency is created and to ensure that trust is built, because when you talk about transparency, it also helps to create trust. It also helps to create traceability. Now, these three important T's that I've just mentioned, trust, traceability, and a kind of transparency, is the anchor that is behind digital governance. And once that is created, I want to assure you, corruption automatically is eliminated to a high level degree, if not possible, up to 70%. Why do I say that?
Right.
When you discover that you are going to be known, When you discover that whatever you do, people will know about it. And when you also discover on your own that if you do anything in whatever shady deal you may do in government, there's a possibility that people are going to trace it back to you specifically through digital governance, then automatically your instinct tells you not to go into that. Nobody enjoys public ridicule.
Yeah, does it make room for feedback?
Of course,
because that's another thing.
Yes, it creates a platform for feedback.
For feedback.
And that's why I said they're describing the issue of digital governance.
Yeah.
It is the only robust approach towards governance that creates a possible way that people that you're governing could also talk back to you about what you're doing. We also have, if you look at even the governance of today, there's this issue of a delivery system that the government have, delivery portal, where citizens themselves can go in and monitor the projects and programs of government, so and even provide the feedback.
Do you think Nigerians are taking aware, first of all, and are taking that opportunity on?
That is a very big challenge because trust have been broken in the past, and trust need to be rebuilt, and it's a gradual process. And that's why this particular program is also important, that it helps to create awareness to the entire public that if you must hold your government accountable. And if there's a platform of asking questions, and of course, the Facebooks are there, the Instagrams are there, the Twitters are there, and other platforms also, the portals are there. Express your mind, ask questions about how services in your community are being delivered. Ask questions, and as long as you begin to ask questions, government will have the responsibility of responding back to you in those questions.
Okay, great. Now, let's move away from that, right? What role is NICDA playing in promoting digital governance and open government in Nigeria?
Yeah, NICDA as an agency is established by an act of the parliament to ensure for technological development and to ensure that people are aware of how to use technology in delivering service. Now, one of the fundamental things, especially at this particular point, is the vision of the agency. And the vision is to make Nigeria an IT-enabled nation, fostering inclusive economic development through technological innovation. Now, if you look at that vision, it's very clear. And their vision also is cascaded in 8 pillars. And through those 8 pillars, NICDA played a very significant role in promoting digital governance. One of the first pillars that you have there is to cultivate talent and also foster digital literacy. That's the first pillar. And in doing that, NICDA want to ensure that at least 70% of Nigerians are digitally literate by the year 2027.
70%.
70% of Nigerians are digitally literate by the year 2027. We are not stopping at that. We have also created a strategy to ensure that is realized. And what do? We are partnering, with the community. We are partnering with citizens. We are also partnering with the entire ecosystem to ensure that is achieved. Now, who are you partnering with? For instance, we are partnering with NYSC.
Oh, okay.
And if you remember, NYSC has their footprint across the entire 774 local government area.
Exactly.
So what we have done is to select 80 champions from each of the batches of NYSC and train them, equip them, give them the necessary tools so that they can now go into the community wherever they are posted, wherever they are resided, and begin to train local citizens. And now this particular aspect is meant to ensure that those people who are in the informal sector are trained, digitally empowered, so that they can contribute their own quota and also understand the important role of digital technology, how they can use it to improve their daily lives. Now, in that aspect, we are targeting 30 million Nigerians. So 30 million Nigerians are expected we are targeting that in the next 3 years or next 2-3 years, we are targeting 30 million Nigerians. We also have a different bucket where we are also training the civil servants. With the partnership with the head of service, we are also developed, there's a portal right now that is we are in collaboration with Cisco that every civil servant can enroll. And when you enroll, you will now become trained and you'll be digitally capable to be able to deliver. Remember my key word, efficient service delivery.
There's a portal like that now.
Yes, there's a portal like that. Yeah, now for
civil servants.
Civil servants. Yes.
Wow.
And even the head of service is spearheading that to ensure that at this moment that all civil servants are digitally literate. Not only that have been done. Before you can even do your promotion now in civil service, you must be digitally literate. Even before you are being recruited as a civil servant now, you must be digitally literate. We are not stopping at that also. We are also partnered with the Ministry of Education. If you check now, you will discover that the curriculum of primary up to the basic secondary schools now, primary schools now, up to the basic, have been changed somehow to ensure that digital literacy is incorporated. Because NICDA developed digital literacy framework. And that gives a platform for defining what digital literacy is. And in that also, we have also separated specific targeted areas of skills that when people are skilled in those areas, you cannot define what digital literacy is. So these are some of the things that we are doing to ensure that Nigeria achieve or ensure that digital governance spread across board, and ensure that people also participate, because without having the knowledge, without being aware, there's no how you can participate in digital governance. And that's why we want to ensure that we're also preaching that as many who are interested in collaborating with us, even the Eagle FM, if you're interested in collaborating with NIDA, please come along. We are collaborating with many NGOs. We are collaborating with many people who are individuals that can come, because we want to ensure neither cannot do it alone, but as we collaborate together, co-create together, we'll be able to massify the impact.
All right, you already heard it, and the conversation is still trending here because we're looking at promoting transparency and accountability through digital governance. And our guest, Dr. Aristotle Onumo, Director of Stakeholder Management and Partnerships at the National Information Technology Development Agency, has spoken so big about what is going on, in view of digital sensitization, as well as, most importantly, digital literacy. All right? Because in this time and age where the world is evolving, we're in a state of evolve, right? Only the countries that are digitally sound can indeed make an impact, can indeed be seen, at the world or global stage. And Nigeria is looking forward to towering above every other to achieve that. You mentioned something that NIDA is already putting things in place and training, retraining, having partnerships, and that's something good. But if you are having all these beautiful things and you don't have citizen engagement, the question will now be, what was it for in the first place? Because many are asking, how has technology improved citizens' access to information and participation in governance, and how much of sensitization has been put out there so that that man, that woman who's listening now can also join this campaign?
Yeah. Good thing that we're having this program is also part of the sensitization.
Great.
But I want to assure you that I also said that what we are using is NYSC. And NYSC people, they have footprints across the 774 local government area. That tells you, again, one thing, that the program that we are running at the moment, which we just finished the pilot phase last year, now it's across the 774 local government.
Okay.
That means it is spreading. We may not get there overnight.
Okay.
Like I said, we are coming from the point of where we were, according to World Bank report before now, where we are close about 45% digital literate. So we want to increase it to 70%. So increasing to 70% requires quite a lot of work. You talked about citizen engagement or citizen collaboration. We are not doing this in isolation. Of course, all our policies, all our strategies, every guideline that we put forward is co-creation. I give you a simple example of co-creation. Now, the co-creation that we normally do is that we elicit the idea from the public. That a method we follow is what we refer to as we call it RIF. That means regulatory intelligence framework. Now, that regulatory intelligence framework enables us to sample the opinion of the people, encounter, discuss with the people, sieve idea from the people, just have a conversation with the people to know their mind, to know their perception. And based on what we understand from them, it is now incorporated in our agenda, it's now incorporated in our strategy, it's now incorporated in our regulations and framework. That's exactly what we did when we are trying to develop the Nigerian Startup Act. The Nigerian Startup Act, which is operational now, is like the people's law, because it is the people from the ecosystem who decided, who agreed, who discussed together, and came up with such a very fantastic law, which is operational now, to define how startups can operate in Nigeria, and to define who startup is, and to create a lot of incentives through which startup can benefit in Nigeria, and making startup relevant as a very big industry. Also creating a platform for them, even for training, empowerment, and having impact in their own community. So we don't do it alone. We don't work in isolation. Remember, if you look at our vision, it talks about inclusivity. Okay. So because the key word there is inclusivity. Right. That's the key word in our vision. Right. So we don't do anything alone. We always work with the stakeholders, incorporate their ideas, and ensure that any regulation will come up with, any standard will come up with, any document will come up with is a reflection of the mindset of the people, especially those within the digital ecosystem.
All right. Well, some would want to say to me very quickly, UD, you know what? Forget what the doctor is saying. The truth is, this whole digital governance thingy is just a way to witch hunt us, to pinpoint us from social media. When we cannot have freedom of speech again, does this have anything in connection with that?
Nothing about that.
Nothing.
Not even in connection with that. All that we are asking for, people can now take opportunities of the platform and give a constructive feedback to us as NIDA, and we respect such constructive feedback so much so well that all our programs, we have always derived modification correction from the constructive feedback we got from the ecosystem.
Okay. All right, so you heard it. It's not a witch hunt platform, please. It is for you to bring something on the table and allow for reforms, because it has to come from you. All right, the change has to come from you. So if it comes from you, the input the input comes from you. You will be glad at what the output or what NIDA or what the digital space or governance can turn this input of yours and give you as an output, and it is all for the betterment of the society. Good governance is what we talk about, and it's all about open government partnerships. Do you mind we take a call? You want to hear from the people, or should we continue?
Sure,
let's go take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, UD.
Yes, good morning, my brother.
Good morning.
Yes.
My name is Soso.
So, talk to us, Soso.
Okay. Yeah, okay. UD, let me appreciate the director, right?
Yes, please.
Who is there. And sir, thank you for coming on radio to explain what NIDA is all about, what it entails to do.
Digital governance, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. However, sir, there's a root cause that I feel maybe the organization is undermining, or maybe people are aware, maybe you choose not to. So the issue of technology is trying to reduce the human factors, right? To see how people can reduce from interfacing from. The question is that all these centers on the internet, the network, so how have you people been able to manage or maybe understudy the network environment generally to see how this thing come to effect? Because if we train, or if you want this to happen, if you go to Parasata, you give them awareness, you train them, you do this thing. This cannot be done without the connection with the network.
Okay.
So how have this thing be able to? How have people been able to make sure this thing come to place? Secondly, sir, which is the last one, sir. If I might count like 3 or 4, even NIDA, let me say, including NIDA, if I send an email, I don't think NIDA reply to any email. Not only NIDA, including other organizations who are also trying to practice this digital
governance. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, what is the issue? Are you still not encouraging coming to interface with staff, or maybe making sure I have to meet this person? NIDA as it stands does not reply to email, and I'm speaking from a breaker ground.
Okay.
So, please, sir, maybe this is a request, and maybe what you have to take it home to the office to digest, maybe look into.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate Soso right there.
Yeah, thank you very much for that feedback.
Yeah.
That's part of the things that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the feedback. And this is the feedback we're getting, that maybe 1 or 2 cases, but I want to tell you, you can try it even today.
Okay.
NIDA as an agency is one of the digitally rated agencies that replies to its email, especially when it is appropriately directed. If you use info@nida.gov.nd, someone is always there to attend to you.
Okay, Director, before you go further, give us that email again.
Info@nida.gov.ng.
Okay.
That's an open email you can use to reach us at any time.
Okay.
You can give it a trial even today. What happens is that maybe sometimes, maybe 1 or 2 occasions, maybe I will not be able to hold brief for anything, but I can tell you, as someone who have been in NIDA and who also responds to email whenever it comes in that regard. Because what happens in our office, for instance, if such an email comes in, it will be directed. In fact, our system is AI powered. Even if you walk into our NIDA at this moment now, we have what we call artificial intelligence transformation plan. If you walk into our office to submit a letter, for instance, you submit at the gate. Now it is scanned. AI picks it based on the title head and routes it to the necessary department that will need to treat that particular email and respond. And because of the service level agreement and O level agreement we have between departments, no department is allowed, is allowed to keep an email or keep a response to a particular letter within a certain threshold. Okay. So that is exactly the standard we operate. But then I won't say that there couldn't be some lapses somewhere, but this is our standard operating system. No. Now, secondly, he said something about providing internet access.
Network.
Yes, internet network. Now, what NIDA is doing in that regard to bridge, I use what to bridge, now is that we have what we call digital economic centers. These digital economic centers is across all the 774 local government area. Now, it's a bridge in the sense that we create such centers where people can go. We provide computers there. We also provide internet connectivity in that particular center for a period of time. Then we expect the community that owns that particular center to take it over after a period of 1 year. That's what happens to ensure, I call it a bridge, because it's not possible that NIDA will be able to provide internet across the entire. So when we set such model, in some organization will come to us to partner with us to take over such particular facility and begin to run it.
Okay.
So the community is responsible to take it over from us after a period of 1 year, or other organizations can also partner with us to be able to mainstream, upgrade, and also further the things that we're doing to ensure that the public, gets access to internet facility that will enable them to empower them to play their own critical role within the space of digital governance.
Right.
That's what NIDA is doing in our own little contribution to be able to ensure that people participate, people get aware, people build the trust, and also together all of us can now participate actively within the context of digital governance.
All right, great. And let's go to this call. Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to you, please. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Comrade Alexander Line.
All right, comrade. Very straight to the point. 1 minute if you can, please.
So I want to thank you. I want to ask what NIDA is doing to advise the governor, the local government chairman, and to help to bring technology to the ground level, to the primary school and secondary school, and what they are doing on that. I want to know, because this technology is supposed to happen from the grassroots.
Okay.
What NIDA is doing to advise the local government chairman, the governor, to impact the whole state, and this will be fast. All the primary school and the secondary school to have technology to learn quickly.
Okay.
So our country can be technology.
All right. All right. So that the country can be technologically sound, right? Are there any programs or campaign for primary and secondary schools to create that awareness? And all?
NIDA is doing its own bit. Remember that we run a three-tier sector of government.
Okay.
We have the federal, we have the state.
Oh, really?
Also, we have we have the federal
Okay, now
government.
in Nigeria, right? Oh, I thought NIDA is running that.
No.
Okay.
In Nigeria, we have the
Okay,
federal, we have
yeah,
the state, we also have the local government.
we do.
But what are we doing to encourage? Now, we do quite a lot to encourage that. Now, we are having a conference coming up in the 11th, 12th, and 13th of November. We call it Digital Nigeria International Conference. And in that conference, we have invited all the ICT commissioners of all the states to have a forum with them to discuss with them on digital transformation. We are also partnering with the Nigerian Governors Forum, where we try to see how we can mainstream some of our ideas, some of our programs through the Nigerian Governors Forum. It can now move straight to the state governors and also to various states. Yeah. We are not stopping at that also. Remember what I said? We have also incorporated digital literacy framework, which NIDA developed inside the national curriculum. So every primary, secondary school, our vision is that by the time you finish from primary or secondary school, you should have been digitally literate enough to contribute, to understand how to use digital tools, use a kind of even protect yourself online, and also do a little services within the entire digital literacy framework. We are not only stopping at that, like I said, we are partnering with states. There are some states that have come to us in terms of partnership. No, how can we adopt? In fact, Bauchi state government, for instance, have domesticated digital literacy. They launched it not long ago, digital literacy framework in their state. So some states or some state government also come to us, partner with us, and see how we can provide the right kind of resource, and they can leverage on our expertise to be able to, deepen digital literacy in their own community. There's quite a range of programs that NIDA is doing both as an office and also reaching out through collaboration and partnership.
Right. Well, just before I let you go, are there any mechanisms put in place to allow for citizens' data protection? Because this is very important, as you also advise that one person or speak to the heart of one person who's listening right now in view of engagement to digital governance.
Yes, we're not stopping at that. Remember that NIDA is actually established to provide guideline regulations as regards to even digital governance and also digital use. So what we have done in the attempt also of building such a responsibility, we have before now, there's what we call the National Data Protection Regulation.
Okay.
Now, the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation was the work of NIDA to ensure that citizens' data are protected while they are online, and they all become aware of how they can protect their personal data. So that particular regulation has also been upgraded and translated into a National Nigerian Data Protection Commission.
Okay.
So it's already an established commission now, headed by I think Dr. Vincent Olatunji, who is the head of that commission right now, who also is in charge of data protection in Nigeria. So every inquiry about data protection, guidance, awareness, and training also should be channeled to that particular commission.
Right.
But having said that, even in this event that is coming up in 11th, 12th, and 13th of November at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Conference Center here in Abuja, there is a section for data protection. So I want to invite even our listeners, take advantage, go and register,
you're going
and participate.
Anyways, though, it's been a great conversation with you, especially looking into matters that concern the modern day society way of getting involved with governance, and not just any type of governance. It's just the digital governance. And you are Dr. Aristotle Onumo, right? Director of Stakeholder Management and Partnerships at the National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA. And we would say, well, with all that you put in place, that we want you to keep doing it, because Nigerians really need this type of sensitization. We need this type of digital literacy, and we also want to be a part of digital governance for the betterment of Nigeria. Right, thank you so much, Seal, for coming to the studio and having this discourse with us.
Thank you very much for bringing me to the studio. I want to use this opportunity also to reach out to the audience and also even to Eagle FM and to as many organizations as are possible. Come and partner with us so that we can build a digital Nigeria for a digital future. Thank you very much.
Where did you say that is happening again? 11, 12, and 13.
Digital Nigeria International Conference.
Right.
Is a global conference, the largest government-led technology expo we have in Nigeria.
Wow.
Come and join us.
The President Bola Ahmed Tinubu International
Conference Center.
You heard that now. Okay, my name is Uduak Daniel, and don't go away.
Please listen to this infomercial.
Aisha, long time o. I never see you for a while now. How business?
My sister, e dey slow sha. I dey post once in a while, but my page no dey move. People just dey scroll past, no engagement, no sales. Me sef don tire o.
You never try Craft House Agency? Na dem dey manage my page now o. Dem dey create video, do design, and dem dey give me better steps wey I go take make people take notice me, come tip